All right, so for recording purposes, this is going to be a watch list. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a watch list for tomorrow as well. But it's also a watch list to start going long on these stocks, right? Well, I'm looking at Amazon, so Amazon. But I will give you guys a watch list to watch levels on QQQ with some entry points and also some targets. Uh, Let me go ahead and delete and re-chart Amazon real quick for you guys. Yes, sir. I'd love to hear it, brother. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chart. I know I normally like give a large breakdown of what I'm seeing and things of that nature. I'm just gonna go ahead and chart. If you guys have any questions, please do let me know so that I can explain things to you guys. All right, that's cool. Mhm. So right now, I'm traveling up higher because I just wanted to see what was going on, but I'm traveling up higher because I am the trader that does top-down analysis. I don't want you guys to just think I'm on different time frames for, just to do it for fun. There's a reason I'm doing it, and the way that I know how to chart and learned how to chart from profitable traders is top-down analysis, not down to the top. All right, so we triggered down the straight. This month's almost over. They could be exhausted, but they just triggered and took them out. Did they take them out? No, so they'll just go ahead and take them out. Oh, they already took them out because we're down there. Yep, they took that target out. That's what I was trying to look for. All right, so we straight. We took liquidity out. Red Moody. Right. 6 days left for that one. So I'm just looking at the 50% retracement right now and reading the price action that it's giving me. Before I start to pick different ranges and things of that nature. I just want to know if we're going to travel down a little bit more to take some more liquidity. That was that liquidity they left me, that liquidity, and that's the 50% retracement. That's straight. That's super straight. All right, cool. So now we could go to start charting. The reason I did that there, just to explain, is because there's more downside. Even though it's ready to start reversing, there's still a little bit more downside on Amazon. But this is a good opportunity to start looking for them, especially with them having earnings. Let's say they drop, right? If they drop, it's a good opportunity to start looking to buy the company, right? Because it's already not at a fair price. So I'm gonna come down here to an hour because I'm gonna just start charting now. And as you see, I normally don't talk about it too much, but if you go into the Discord, I'm setting up channels so you can see like where I got certain things from, and how I implemented them as well. We're giving descriptions. So if anybody knows me or knows my style of trading, you already know like I'm looking for a reversal right here, right? On a 2-2 reversal, 2 down, 2 up, but also I'm on a downtrend with an actionable signal right down here, right? Just like I would have been looking at it right here, but we continue to travel on down, right? So just keep that in mind. And that's why I'm looking at them as well. As you see, we're overbought on the RSI, right? I always tell people that even it could be me, it could be any trader, right? If they put out a trade, you want to go ahead and start looking at the charts, looking at the things to see what you see, and it'll also help you like understand like, oh, this person's going for calls, why they're going for calls. You know what I'm saying? Just looking at that description of their charts if you don't want to ask any type of questions. I'll get back to that in a few, Jade. I just don't want to get thrown off. I want to stay on track, and I'll answer those questions here in a second. Right, so we have an actionable signal down here. So now I'm going to start searching for an entry point, right? And don't worry too much on like how I'm charting because things change as I start going to different time frames and I see different things. I'm going to want different entry points or liquidity. Sure. So what was this? Liquidity. All right, so liquidity got taken out. That's done right there. That's reverse. Gotcha. That's on as well. Let me see something real quick for how we're reversing pretty nicely. Still flagging. All right, so the trajectory is, regardless of the fact, we should be able to take it to about like 120 to 73, but that's where it's going to want to try to reject, right? But then we got a nice rejection here. That's cool. I just want to see how we closed it. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'm already take it back to like 15, right? That's fine. That'll actually give us a little bit of time due to that liquidity. My bad. I'm talking to myself in my head. Yeah. And that's off of the smaller one. I'm gonna take that one as well. It'll push me off 57 cents. That's cool. And then that's that last liquidity I will try to grab. Take it. Take the weak doji. That'll be dope. All right, cool. So that's what I have right now for Amazon. I still got to go to a higher time frame real quick. Now, this 116.63 level, let me go to a higher time frame. I'm looking for anything to bounce around this area. Like that white line will be my entry, but I will look for anything to bounce around this area, right? On Amazon. So with a little bit of downside that I still see, that'd be around this area, 116.63, to start looking for any type of reversal signals to be able to get into the trade, right? So just giving you that so you can have that content. I'll delete this so it doesn't throw you off because this was just liquidity. I wanted to know them taking it, right? But I will also give you a put entry just in case, even though this is a watch list for us to start going long and add to positions, right? You can still trade options, but I will be trading options, but I would definitely be buying shares, right? Now if you want to take them for a put, just trying to see the structure on a smaller time frame. That's gonna take me forever to go see that. Yeah, because that was that old liquidity that they took out. Do I got any price action down here? Nah, I just kept taking price up. All right, cool. So I'm gonna have to utilize the larger time frame. I'll take the 4. Give me a second, let it populate. Did we touch that price? We did not. Okay. I appreciate you. We did not. It's huge though. So like taking it to a smaller time frame is gonna take me forever. Just do your little trick, Moody. $18.06. That's a 75-cent move. That's cool for Scott. No, they need to learn how to get out their trades. Maybe don't do it crazy. That's right. Give me this. We'll see. Just for just to make it perfect. My bad. I don't play about my entry points. I don't play about those. So what I'm doing now, I'm traveling. I'm time traveling, going backwards. Have things very nice and precise. We right here. And I forgot to speak on the horizontal ray yesterday on the class. I'm noticing that right now because I'm like, oh, we're right here. So when I utilize this horizontal ray, I'm always going to utilize that for entry points, targets, and things of that nature because I don't want the line to keep going straight. Just because when I go to a smaller time frame, I don't want to lose my place, and I don't want to have to like do this where it's like, oh, it was around Friday, the 26th of May, 2023 at 10:45. I don't want to do stuff like that and try to have to remember that or jot that down and try to get all the way back to that price. Now, if I had to, I will. So I'm just wanting to make sure that it's clean, nice, and precise because I did this off a bigger time frame, just knowing how to chart and knowing my levels. Um, so yeah, I just want to make sure, yes, that's straight. And I want to know I'll be getting in a little too late. Now we break this bad boy here. We don't go explaining all that. It's gonna take you forever. I wanted to tell you like why I was putting an entry on a certain thing, but it's like I'll have to break down the time frame, so it'll take too long. I'll make it a class though. That was originally for that GP. You can just take this one here, and then Moody, just do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. Then have this target here, like that, like so. And that's right with the entry, so that's pretty good. All right, so that was actually, oh, it's because the 50's on, so no problem. Come on now. Wow, it's perfect. And then that'll be out bounce. This is where I'm looking to try to bounce off of Amazon. It's like where they couldn't break out at resistance, and they have a nice little break. So I'll be looking at that for that. Do note that this can break to take out some of that liquidity and then test this level to claim it back as support and then start traveling back up. So yeah, this is what I have for Amazon. Let me see, where was my entry? Oh, I just deleted that other white line. Gosh, that was my put entry. It's this one right here. My bad. There we go. All right. So now just want to see how it looks like on my chart. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. I don't even want to do nothing else to it. They can be a little bit more downside. I'm not doing that for the simple fact of me and how I trade and what I'm looking for, right? Now if we go under this yellow line and we start traveling down here, I'll start charting down there and look for a way back up and things of that nature, right? But as of late, if you was to take this put entry here, right? And that's going to be 118.97. And please do note, all of my entries will not go through any candlesticks. They're going to be fresh new levels, right? That's why my entries are like so precise. Give them an example, Moody. I didn't trade this, but I set alerts. I didn't jump in at all because I didn't have plans on trying to trade QCOM. But you can definitely see how precise these entries are. I'm gonna just take it over to an hour and I have to come down. These are all the levels that it hit that I said that it would hit, right? I had a precise entry for calls here, never triggered. You can even see the alert. It never triggered for anything of calls, not even those wick triggered it or anything, triggered perfectly when it came for puts, right? And that's just making sure that you have precise entries and knowing the chart the way you should know it, right? Even if you don't know it like that right now, in due time, you will. Consistency is always key. Consistency will always outshine any type of talent, right? So, all righty. That's just an example of that, just so you can understand this Amazon on how precise I'm going to have these entries, right? Now Amazon likes to be volatile at times. So the only thing that I would do here is see if I can find a better entry for the calls, right? Because I have calls at 120.21, right? And we've seen pre-market, not pre-market, but aftermarket. So we know that pre-market is going to have a little bit of effect. So normally, if I don't want to do time frame analysis, I'll just grab this bad boy right here and I'll do this. Oh, take this off. Like that, like so. Click this bad boy to just get our chart a little bit cleaner because you don't want your charts to be too messy. So now I have the opportunity of saying, hey, I'll take this entry at 120.21, or I'll take the entry at 120.61. Now, the beautiful thing about this, when I like to have two entries for a certain direction, is the fact that if this triggers, right, I'm going to look to see if it's going to continue up. Smaller time frames to help me with that, right? But what I'm going to really love is if I miss it, let's say I missed it, or I could be nervous, or I'm just like, I don't know, I want to see a better price action. The beautiful thing is anything that starts to consolidate here, and you'll see it in this price, right? If anything starts to consolidate here, it will pick away. So if it goes down, I will start choosing this as a put entry, right? Just to take it all the way down to my put entry and get out the trade, if that makes sense, right? But you can utilize both of these as calls entries. And if you miss them, you can wait to see if it just pulls back, boom, comes back to your entry and get in, right? So I'm gonna give you guys two entries, right? And please do remind me because I'm live trading tomorrow, right? If now I don't have control over what happens in pre-market, let's say that this travels over into my entry point, right? I can give you an analysis behind that. But if you would like a better entry point because it's already over that price or anything of that nature, you can just jump on live or just tag me and I'll be able to help you, right? So we're just gonna leave Amazon here for a second. I might come back and speak on it. Let's go ahead and travel over to SPY. We're gonna delete all of this. What up, Jordan? I'm over here focused.
What's good, bro? Consistency beats talent.
That's a fact, bro. Consistency beats talent, but to have the consistency, you have to have the repetitions. The repetition is gonna breed that discipline. All right, cool. All right, so with SPY, again, top-down analysis, take it bigger just to see what's truly going on, right? We're a little under where we closed at. That's going to be our post, right? So we closed at 417.55, right, at market structure. We can see that market structure when I was speaking on it yesterday. We can see how right here is a lot on the wicks, but if I travel, you'll see that it's on bodies of the candlesticks and it's really at an indecision level, right? So with that being said, let me turn off the strat because I was about to start stratting.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with stratting. I just want to stay aligned. You know what I'm saying? That I don't know how many people on this class know about the strat. So what happens there is I start stratting, start talking about the strat, then somebody may have a question on like, hey, what's a PMG? Or hey, can you explain the Browning formation? And then, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do a watch list chart class and then I divert.
I'm just messing with you, Moody. It's BW.
Oh, I ain't even noticed your voice, bro. That's crazy.
I'm just messing with you.
What's up, love? All right, cool. So, but if somebody drop a 1 in the chat if y'all understand the strat or have some type of understanding to it, and I'll start to break it down. Tonight I will be working on the strat. I want you guys to learn it, understand it before I even do a boot camp for it, right? I want you guys to know what it is. I don't want you guys to come into it super fresh and things of that nature, right? Go ahead and digest it, start having an understanding of it, and then come trade it how I trade it or how I see it, right? Oh snap, yeah, in the chats. 11111. Oh snap, so y'all want me to talk about this. Okay, gotcha. I got y'all. How did you determine there was still liquidity versus a support or resistance? Let me go right back to Amazon just to answer that question. Because I forgot I said once I was done with it, I was going to do it. So how I was able to determine that was from a higher time frame, right? Top-down analysis is always going to help any trader, right? Because you'll be able to see exactly what's truly going on, right? As you break down those candlesticks. So the way I was able to tell that is I was on a, let me show you first of all. I was on a 3-day chart, right? I also know that we have one whole day left, but we really have 2 days left. So this is going to run all the way through Friday, right? So with me knowing that, I drew this yellow line here for support, right? Because I was going to travel to a higher time frame. And I also needed to know if they took any liquidity. I wasn't looking here, and that's the liquidity that they had took already, right? So I went ahead and went to the monthly time frame. I was able to see that reversal coming back down, and I was able to see this candlestick here take that liquidity out, if that makes any kind of sense. We can see the post sitting here at 1967, right? And on this higher time frame, we have no other liquidity here, right? So we have to travel to the smaller time frames to be able to do so. You taking notes, Jordan? Come over there. What you doing?
Nah, I'm doing something on my phone, bro.
Oh, okay, okay. I know you always got the pad out. All right, so that's how I was able to see that, right? And we have, and I also mentioned this little small liquidity that they have here, right? So the thing is, when the market opens up, or it can happen in pre-market, they could take out this liquidity here, right? If they take out that liquidity here and start to bounce, I have a put entry right here, just in case they want to bounce and start rejecting. You got some quick targets right here. You can also take this for a target as well, but this is going to be where I'm looking for bounces for Amazon to start moving on up. And it's just, you can't see it that fairly well on this time frame, but this is just a resistance that they couldn't break, that they reclaimed as support, right? And it's a big one. And they're coming right back down to it. So I really like it. So that's how I was able to determine that. Not too much understanding, but I've heard of 22 Rev. Understand? Oh, she's talking about the strap movie. Not too much understanding, but I heard of the 22 Rev. Oh, reversal, tripping. Laughing out loud. Liquidity can be identified from wicks of higher time frames. Liquidity could be seen and determined on any time frame. And literally any time frame. I just like to go to higher time frames because the chart trades, to me, it trades. I don't want to say perfectly, but it trades pretty precisely with the larger support and resistance and entry points. I've like, I'm a scalper. I try to just, you know what, I'm just utilizing the 15 and going down and stuff of that nature. That works for just if you want to just be a scalper, right? But in naturality, it's always best to know what the higher ones are doing. You know what I'm saying? Anything higher than a 1 hour. It's always best to know what those are doing because you're intraday trading, right? Now, if you're traveling over to a daily time frame and higher, everybody trades differently, but it's up to you and why you're doing that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I can relate it into intraday, but I have my own strategies on why I'm looking at those time frames. I deem anything from a day and up to be looked at as you're trying to swing something, because those time frames are just incredibly big. You know what I'm saying? You could be looking at a head and shoulders trying to break on a daily, and that could take a week. That can take 2 weeks to happen, right? Depending on the security as well. All right, so let me travel back over here to SPY. So SPY, we're on a reversal back down for this month, it just right, it triggered down where this went 2 up. Well, no, I'm lying, this is a 3 bar, so it went 3-2 reversal straight down. We was able to take out some liquidity, as we can see when the market is already closed, is at 416.12. So honestly, I will be, you know me, I'll be looking for opportunities for a bounce here and there when the market opens up. But anything that was holding under 419, I was strongly, my bias is for SPY to go to 414. Anything under 418 should be going to like 414 after the chart show, but anything can happen, right? The one thing that I am loving is that we're overbought. You know what I'm saying? So what really was really going to determine how bullish or bearish I am is going to be tomorrow, as soon as I see pre-market and things of that nature, right? So just looking at this higher time frame on a weekly chart, we're 2 down. I'm going to take it off this weekly chart because my favorite weekly charts are the 2-week charts, right? So my 2-week chart does tell me, yep, you're exactly right. The move is to go down. We went 2 down, right? And I don't want to call this a shooter because it's not at the top of a uptrend, right? But we got a nice inverted pin bar, right? And it is on the bottom of a downtrend. And it still signifies that a reversal can happen, but the continuation is more likely, right? But the smaller time frames was always going to help us. So I'm not charting anything just yet because I don't really need to on a small time frame. Boop, 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 boop. I am gonna come get this liquidity though, so it doesn't be a pain for me to grab. What was that, 412? Dang, 414 right here. There we go. 409. What's this level? 403. Yeah, I can see it going to 403. We could do 403. Definitely. And then reverse from there. All right, cool. Go from here. Let's go to the 12-hour. All right, so we do have a little bit more downside here on SPY. Just seeing this liquidity right here, right? It's just a domino effect. That's how I'm able to see that extra downside, right? It's just grab a domino, put it next to a whole bunch of other dominoes, and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? That's why we love PMGs. And just since I know that you guys do understand the strat just a little bit, that's what I'm. Delete letters be great. Jesus Christ, y'all saw that? All right. So this is a PMG right here. So no, I'm gonna show you how to read the chart, how I read the chart. I don't need to go look at that candlestick. I already know it's bearish. I already also know that it's 2 down, right? So I'm just, in my mind, I see this candlestick right here. This one or this one. I see that for this, a little small wick and a wick up, and it's pushing down. So that's what I'm seeing with just this price line. So with me seeing that price line, I know this is support right here, right? Because that's the body of the candlestick. Like you can literally see like anything that I chart, you'll see like, oh, Moody, like he's doing that support and resistance thing that he like always teaches us and stuff like that, right? So long story short, that'll hit that support, right? If we don't hold that support, we definitely going for that liquidity because they have that liquidity right there. That liquidity is literally with support. That makes sense? It's like liquidity support, boom, go down. It's just a not a downtrend, it's just a domino effect. You know what I'm saying? So not to say that it will happen fast. Sometimes it doesn't happen fast. It'll like bounce, consolidate, bear flag a little bit, act like it's about to push up. You know what I'm saying? Moody, find it on the chart. It's just a higher time frame, so I ain't gonna be able to see the bear flag. I want to see it, how I'm breaking it down because it's 12 hours, so it's only going to show it to me in the 12-hour sense, right? But long story short, it may just come down, right, like this, start to flag up and curve, like is making a rounding bottom, like a round cup and handle. And once it does that, you look at that market structure, and if it does not break that market structure or even like tested it and come down a little bit, 9 times out of, I don't want to say 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10 is going to go straight back down to go for that liquidity. Why? And it's one thing that I was able to observe with the RSI. what's going to happen is the RSI is going to be oversold, right? That's why it's very vital. And you know, sometimes I don't want to step in my light. It's very vital to learn that RSI trick and strategy from me, because I'm the one that created it, right? And the reason I say that is because we can be oversold. You know what I'm saying? We could be oversold, and you're just thinking go for calls, and you don't know how to do the analysis behind that by the RSI. It'll keep dumping on you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just looking at that one time frame. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like the hour of the clock. All these numbers coincide together. They all work together. You know what I'm saying? Not one is greater than the other. You know what I'm saying? That is greater than the other once you start to like look at the definition of that number, right? So that's what I'm seeing right there. So now I'm going to chart the upside to it. Let me go into the chat real quick. Oh, y'all going crazy in here. I love this. All right, 2-2 rev is what's just happened on the daily. Oh, where? Okay, yeah, I'm about to I'm gonna check it out. So do the large slash strong push candles define liquidity? So do the large slash strong candles, large, strong, push candles define liquidity? I don't know how to interpret what you're saying. I'm just thinking of like a strong bullish candle right here. If you want to unmute yourself and let me know, I could give you
Yeah. Hey, Moody, it's Marty.
oh, what's
Uh,
going on, bro?
I was looking more from the way I'm seeing you draw it is the longer candles, right? So once it breaks that, you're looking through the smaller candles that try to take that long candle out. So does that define liquidity right there?
All right, so let me just take it all the way into here, and we're gonna talk right here. All right, because you were saying like the way I'm charting and stuff, right? So I'm just gonna use this large candle. I'm gonna put it right here on this large candle. So explain that again.
So liquidity, I mean, just to see it the way you're trying to see it is, or I'm trying to understand it is, I'm looking for a large candle, then I'm looking for that activity around there, and that's where I find the spot where I'm saying that's where liquidity is.
Gotcha. I know what to do to make it more simple. Liquidity is the bottom of your wicks. That's why you're getting confused.
Okay. Okay.
My bad. I'm like sometimes I'm learning to simplify things where it's just like you can say things kind of in a nice fancy way that it just sounds super cool and stuff like that. And I'm doing my best to remember that I'm still doing that, not trying to sound cool, but it's just how I speak and how I see the charts. But real quick, you want to know what liquidity is? Every line that I draw is going to be liquidity. There's some liquidity in here, but it's not that much. Why would I say that? You see how, look at the price action. Don't even look here, just look at the price action up here. When I say price action, that's what I mean. I'll be like up here. So when we look at that price action, you can see we opened up at 442.48. The high was 442.74. Then it's 442.21. Then it's 442.43. You know what I'm saying? There was not, it's not that big of a price action. You know what I'm saying? So
The
I'm
range
not,
of it.
huh?
The range of it.
Correct. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, the range of that candlestick, it's not that large. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
this one, yeah, absolutely. Would have took some of that liquidity right there, definitely. But this candlestick here took that liquidity. And that's the biggest thing about liquidities. I would say liquidities and PMGs that, you know, somebody may see a PMG and it just doesn't work out for them. It's just because they're not understanding some of the liquidity already got taken out. So they're trying to take that liquidity out, but it's not there anymore. Right. So me coming down, oh, sorry, not that one. Let me delete it. All of this is liquidity. This is more so like support. That's why I didn't draw one there, right? Because it's just like flush. You didn't even come down. And you see if I draw it, you see how flush it is with that body. Boom. Just don't get confused when it's like, but it's over that body went over. Don't you see this body? Don't let them confuse you. You know, one thing that I would say is Jordan did a phenomenal job with one of his last posts on Instagram, and it was just saying basically that you know, these candlesticks make the same patterns. You just have to be able to identify psychologically on what is playing out and what is it showing you. You know what I'm saying? So when you're able to identify with things of that nature, trading becomes much more easier, right? So you can see how they try to hold that support and then it came down. So that's why I'm not like claiming it as liquidity. Let me go ahead and delete this one. That makes sense though? The liquidity and everything else that I was just spoke on?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
All right, awesome. If anything doesn't make sense, or if it does make sense, but it seems like a little bit complicated for anyone, just let me know. And I'll find another way to explain it, or I'll just like simplify it. All right, so let's go back over here. All right, coolsy. Now we're on a 12. Let me just check out what BW was talking about because he is a living legend. All right, yeah, 2 down. Yeah, 2 up, 2 down, reversal. Yeah, and
It's a Randy Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, Randy Jackson, I knew we were going to pull back because the profit taking off the internal liquidity right there. You see a little parent, the little group down there, previous swing low. That was liquidity. So it swept it. People took profits, but on the bigger time frame, we're still supposed to move down and complete that market structure. So as a strat trader, those big bars that you're talking about, those are important because that's creating a range. And if you're sweeping internal liquidity inside, eventually you're trying to take that bigger candles, highs and lows, the wicks. So that's why it's important to go on the 3 months, the monthly, the weekly, because it creates those really big mother bars. And so we're trying to find out which way we're going by sweeping liquidity. But as we get closer to the buy side or sell side, we know it's going to get swept. So that's how we find our targets.
Big facts, man. Before I even go anywhere, bro, like how was you able to identify with all of that? Like if you could give us just, you know, a quick description on like how you was able to gain that knowledge for anybody that may help.
From Moody, but not just like, you know, when you hear what Moody talks about liquidity or like fair value gaps or multiple time frame, it's up to you to do your due diligence to make that make sense to you. So the way he explained it to me might be different than how he actually trades it. So I had to do my due diligence and trying to play around the multiple time frame. He likes like the 4 hour, 12 hour, but I find it through like the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly. So we find our own ranges to play with, but the concept of liquidity is that in order for price to go up or down, it has to sweep some type of liquidity. Internal is what moves price up and down. So that's why if you look at the double bottoms, usually it's a lower low before it pushes right back up because you're sweeping sell side liquidity in order for price to go the opposite direction. How far it goes, it really depends on the trend, right? Is it an uptrend or downtrend? And you find that through pivot highs and pivot lows. So liquidity is pivot highs and pivot lows.
Correct. 100%, bro. Wow, like just the way you explain that, man, it was visual in my mind. I was just like, wow, it's beautiful. I do want to add to something that you said about the double bottom. Everybody, you know, when you got some time, travel into this. I promise you. I literally did this as like my trading style. You know what I'm saying? It put everything like in order. Let's just give it some time to be able to populate before I get back into the charts. All right, so, and you'll notice what time I choose to live trade, right? And you'll notice what happens. And when I'm live trading, you'll notice I always talk about that flip hour. I always talk about that 10:30, right? I may catch a couple of other trades, but what do? I'm done. I may grab some swings later on or something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I'll put out some trade ideas just in case somebody wants to catch something, but that's about it. You know, you make your money and you're done. It's just like work. You make your money and you go home. Let me show you exactly what BW was talking about. I wasn't gonna put this EMA in here because I don't use the EMAs, but I was talking to somebody in the DMs today. And just, you know, that person was able to help me personally, not knowing that that person was helping me, but I really appreciate it. So I'm most likely gonna go ahead and put out my strategy that I have with the EMAs. It correlates with just utilizing the 5 and the 50 and as well with the RSI. I have been looking for a developer to create me an indicator to make it so it can be simultaneously together and not having to look at 2 different things. So it can just, you know, alert you. I may have to get with Jordan or somebody to get with a developer to be able to create it, but give me some time. But as we travel on up, Where is it, Moody? No, it's further down. It's further down. Further down, but look, I'll tell you this, and I may do a class on this. These are the only 3 buys that I trade or I do. I do market orders, buy limits, or I sell limits. I don't do stop losses on my brokerage. I do stop losses on my trading views. I set alerts. If it hits my alert, I get out. The only reason why is because I like to feel in control of my trade, right? It's not like a control problem with me. I just don't want no one in control of my finance, right? So I feel like, the government just knows where the stop losses is at and stuff like that, and they're gonna hunt them. So I don't utilize none of these 3 right here, just so I can feel in control. And that's just a personal Moody thing. If you use stop losses, that is great. I don't want you to feel like, oh, well, Moody doesn't use it. No, it does not matter. I used the stop loss at one point. I just didn't like all the back and forth and having to cancel the trade and things of that nature. There are reasons why I don't utilize it as well. It's not just a government thing, right? I do a lot. I'm always doing something, so that's just extra task for me, right? As we travel on down, and these are great explanations. I'll do a class on this stuff, but this is great explanation on how you trade things, right? And I specifically chose certain things only to speak about because this is my trading style. And so you guys can know, like, even if you look in here, you'll see like, oh, Moody talks about a falling wedge, but this one is more so to me like that is a falling wedge, but depending on how the candlesticks will look on a chart, I may look at it as a bull flag or a pendant, right? But your TP is going to be that top, right? And your entry is always going to be that channel break, right? Your stop loss is going to be right there if you're going bullish, but they give you the bearish one as well. VW, where's that double bottom at? Dang, did I not post the double bottom?
But to add to, I think I saw it like when you were scrolling somewhere. But to add to it, like the reason what Moody was trying to say is that like he might see like a falling wedge as like a bull flag or something. But the goal of any trend line is that you on the way down or the way up is stair stepping. So that's creating those liquidities, those pivot lows, the higher lows, and all those higher lows is creating a trend line. So when the trend line breaks, the price is supposed to come down and take out all those swing lows. That's why a trend line break, you normally see it come all the way down and take out the very lows. Just like if you see that double bottom right there, if you have a smaller time frame, you'll see that that's a trend line. And when it breaks, it comes down and it takes out all of those swing lows.
Yeah.
So it's imaginary. That's imaginary trend line, And on a different chart, it might look like a rising wedge. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, I think we can be bullish tomorrow, to be honest. My bad. I got excited. All right, but yeah, I agree with everything that BW said. Absolutely. I think that was a great explanation. And just to add to what he was talking about, those double bottoms, right? You got your first bottom. And I remember on a class when it could have been yesterday, I had said, look, I was like, look, this is a true double bottom when I was on a chart, is because double bottoms are exactly what they are, double bottoms. If you see another wick right here, and somebody's calling it a double bottom. Why? Because what's double mean? 2. What's triple mean? 3. You know what I'm saying? And I had that problem of like seeing things like that, and I'm like, oh man, there goes a double bottom or this, and that's not what it is. You got to really identify with that, right? And that's why it's important to, like, even when you're looking at these things, go to YouTube, not lying, go to Google, type in double bottoms, and look at a whole bunch of them. And then, say if you looked at 20 of them, look at them again and see which ones are similar to the other ones. Like, wait, no, there's a whole bunch of wicks on this one. Well, this one is super clean, and see how many of those are clean and how many of those are not, right? And then try them yourself, and then you'll start to see like, oh, no, I like the cleaner ones a little bit better, right? But what I was going to say, you see that low, this low is lower because it took that liquidity. Say, bow, and they ran. You know what I'm saying? You got to think of everybody that was trying to enter this. My bad, you saying something, DW?
No, I'm saying that's called a liquidity sweep, and that's where it's picking up contracts. So there's a higher chance it'll reverse when you take out the previous swing low because you sweat the liquidity. Now it's going for buy side liquidity. So there's a higher chance. If it was a higher low, then it might come back down and take out both those lows. So that's why you gotta be mindful that unless you're doing like a SMT divergence where ES is going up and then but the liquidity was swept on NQ, but that's a different story. But if you're just looking at face value, you want to see a higher high get taken out before it reverses. That's why that low down there, it swept liquidity and then it came out and it took out the highs because it's looking for a bigger time frame liquidity to take out. So
Correct.
sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
Nah, you good, brother. That's I love the explanation. Thank you for that. Because I view like liquidity sweeps and grabs as the same thing, but that's just me to try to simplify it. But I do know that they differ from each other. And thank you for that explanation. Right. So let's get back to the chart. And another thing, real quick to add to like what BW was saying with that grab that it did right here, you could just read the chart and see, like, just put a line right here. Bodies of candlesticks, right? I'm not going for any wicks. Is a little higher than that body, just a tad bit, but watch this. Let me put it correctly. Delete this, Moody. Let's make it perfect. Right here. Right? Damn near touched it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, almost completed his range, like right here. But you can see like, boom, no rejection. That is market structure. That's market structure. What do I mean by that? Support and resistance, swing highs and swing lows. This is still swinging low. You know what I'm saying? It's still swinging low. Look at all of this liquidity it has. That support, hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Because we got the double support right there, but there ain't no meat and potatoes here. So if we leave this range, we drop. There ain't no meat and potatoes. There ain't no weight there. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no money in that candlestick, is what I'm basically trying to say. There's money in this candlestick. You know what I'm saying? There's some money in that candlestick because you can see of the body. The body is the money, right? The wicks are now you see me, now you don't. You waited too long or you was hesitant, you know, and if you're ever hesitant in a trade, don't take the trade. It literally live trading like your life. When you're driving a car and you're trying to take a right or trying to take a left to enter the intersection, whatever the case may be, right? What do? You look both ways. You see that, oh, I'm clear to take the opportunity, and you take it. You don't hit the gas. You know, when we first start driving, that's the kind of things we do. We're a little bit nervous, so we're in that car and we're like, oh, I don't know, I think I can make it. Oh, and what does your mom or whoever's teaching you driving tell you? Don't do that. If you want to go, you go. If you don't want to go, don't go. Just wait. Be patient. Don't worry about the car behind you. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with trading. If you feel hesitant because you're like, man, I don't know, don't take the trade. Just wait and mentally see what's happening. And okay, cool. You know what? I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And with you being wrong, jot that down, write that down, because that's going to happen again. I promise you. I just don't have to do certain things anymore, and I forget to speak on it because it's now habit, right? But it took me some time to create that as a habit, right? So long story short, we can come all the way down here. I wouldn't even start talking about these levels because I feel like they take this liquidity here and start reversing, right? But long story short, I do see us coming down to about like 414. You know, unfortunately, you know, I don't want to see SPY go down like that. You know, I want to buy stocks. 11 Bang Bang yesterday said, you know, that he saw some blood coming into the market for today, and I agreed with him. And he was like, "But I love to see green candles grow." Like that made my day right there, because it's just like all stocks want to go up, none of them want to die. You know what I'm saying? It's just the times that we're in right now. But I know I've been talking about SPY forever, so let me just go ahead and chart this really quickly. And these are just targets. I'm gonna go into the chat here in a second. Let me just chart this and I'm gonna run into the chat. Going bad. That's good. So right now I'm just doing top-down analysis, checking out my price action, checking out the things that I have on my chart, like the RSI and things of that nature. All right, I like that. I just want to see the one. Go to the two. Watch how I freak this. I went to the two just to get the range. Feel me? And this for anybody that's not gonna be on live, because you know things change when the candle starts to move. So I'll take that one. That could be a rejection though too. Let me see one more thing. 25. That's structure. So if I take that, I could take them all the way up and completely get out the trade here at 417. On the line. Delete. All right, cool. Alrighty. I would love to get over this. If I get over this, that'd be beautiful. Just draw a straight line right there. Oh, that went a little bit under that I didn't want it to. There we go. Now we're looking great. So anything above this 417 area, we can start looking for calls. But I would say only calls to like about 418 to 419, right? And it is due to the market structure, but remember, I was looking at anything holding on to 419 puts. I think I had I was in the wrong chat, but I had mentioned it to Mr. Santana, right? So I definitely like that. Let me see. Yeah, that's
We're setting up for a PMG for sure. I see you. We're setting up for a PMG, so yeah.
That's a big
Stay tuned.
fact. Yeah, like you can see it. Let me go to 45. I gotta go smaller. Pre-market gonna get it though. I feel like you see that one right here. I gotta go smaller to break those down, but pre-market gonna get that. This the rest of that PMG is just, oh my god. And I would 9 times out of 10 I'll watch this like on a 4. Let me see it real quick. Yeah, I definitely watch it on a 4. And for anybody that wants to trade like how I do, like just stepping your way up, I just fit these candlesticks right here. Do. But you could take this down to about a 2 hour just so you could get some more price action. You see what I mean? I'll fit this one, and that's like the market structure. I'll fit that one to just play that market structure, but you gotta overstand something. I got a question. Looking at this time frame, blue to blue, is that market structure? Drop a 1 in the chat if it's market structure. Drop a 2 in the chat if it's not market structure. And I know I gotta scroll up on the chat. Let me finish doing this real quick. Yep, that's all I need on spot. What's this, 19? Yeah, I'll take 19. And that's it. What's that? Yeah, that's close to 20. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I got targets down here, right? Oh, what you don't have is a put entry. I gotta be precise though, bro. I need more price action for that put. Why I'm saying I need more price action for that put, because how I see the price and the price action right now, I'd rather find rejections for puts, if that makes sense, because it's not like in the middle of a range coming down. But a trick that you can do is this. Take it to 7.
I will say that futures right now is already gapped down though a lot.
It has.
So we might be, yeah, if you look at futures, it's already sweeping liquidity. So maybe it's calls in the morning, but futures are already kind of moved down like 40 basis points.
Yep, I see them. That's even better. They broke the cup and handle, the inverse cup and handle. But that's, I rather spot fall more and open up like that in on the rise.
Yeah, just sweep it all overnight so you can just get calls.
Yep. So for puts, nah, when you gonna take that target, I'll take that for a put. Yep. 414 to 412. I know it's gonna hit 414, but it can bounce off of that. So this put entry, if it holds under 414.54, take puts. But you definitely want your RSI to be pushed up. Like if your RSI look like this, but don't take no puts. And if it keeps dragging down, like, damn, I should have took puts. Leave it alone. Trust me. There's another day that you can trade. So let me put this on a better time frame real quick. Let me delete all of this. And look, sometimes when I don't like price action, like how I'm not liking it, like how it really looks like this, I just go to real time. Because when you go to the real time, you don't get all that extraness. So it'd be easy. So like say I could go to like a 45-minute chart and I look for an inside bar and I literally trade the inside bar, or I'll look here and literally say, all right, I'll take calls up here. But the only thing is, it's just like the price is down here. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see me charting with after hours, like all the time, because it says that it's real time hours, but you know, it's not, what is it, regular? Yeah, regular trading hours. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not real to me. Oh, let me take this off though. But yeah, you can always do that. And like when I say find an inside bar, probably gotta go to a higher time frame. We don't have no inside bars. Even if I go higher, we definitely not gonna have them. It's just gonna be two downs. But literally like finding a nice little bar right here and something inside, and you can play that range, right? The break of your inside bar. All right, so let me just put it on a smaller time frame so that you can get you a picture. And this looks retarded, so let me do it like this so you can know that the candles aren't going through them, right? And if you want to be safer, look, I'm gonna give y'all a safer entry, actually. Right here, that market structure. If we could break and hold over 416.30, you can take calls, right? I will let it just do what it's doing on these levels, right? From 416 to 414. I would need the price. I would need the market to open up and be like, okay, cool, we got a nice little market structure. You can take puts under here. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to get it. I want you to have the entry for puts like around 415, but it's just, and look, I can do it right here. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is SPY. I know this security is volatile, right? Anything can happen, and oh, now you're not in that range anymore, and you're somewhere up there. Now you got to use that as a bounce entry, right? So that's why I don't have it like that. Now, if we grow and then we start consolidating like this and do whatever, you can utilize that as a put. So I'm gonna just leave it there for anybody that needs to take the picture. I gotta go a little higher for you guys, 45, so you can get the bottom right here. And the last one is like 403, 403.78, but go ahead and grab your picture. And that's what I'll be looking at for SPY tomorrow. Things can change live, entry points and things of that nature. For the Qs, it's gonna kind of be like the same thing too. Let me just go to the Qs real quick. And then I'm gonna go into the chat, and if we want to go crazy, we go crazy, and we just answer a whole bunch of questions and just get on the charts. This is gonna be basically like the same thing. Ooh, must have been helping somebody. Same thing. They got a pretty so still. Fucking A. Wow, excuse my language, y'all. Too close to 50. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's 50% that fair value gap.
You say what?
And so we get that fair value gap when you drew that range with the fifth, that fair value gap.
Yeah, from here to here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it. I just don't be talking about certain things sometimes, but like everything I do is confluence with each other. It's just
You
because
gotta share the knowledge.
huh?
Now, so you gotta share the knowledge because yeah, that's the things that the vocabulary that you taught me is really a game changer.
No, I definitely will. It's just I openly freely give. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not the type of person like you have to act something to like really understand it. Like if I know you and I know like you're doing something, I don't know, my spirit to reach out and be like, hey, I'm saying, you remember you know what I just did in the chat? You know what I'm saying? Like if that gets done, I'm just not gonna waste my time. Like, oh, that gets done. Oh, you did that? Oh, look, bro, you can do this, do that, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just that type of person. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that it's wrong if you're not that type of person. That's just who you are. I just like to I just treat people the way I want to be treated. And I think that goes over some heads when I say that. I treat people how I want to be treated, literally. You know what I'm saying? And like, if I love you, I want you to love me back. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Like to be that like that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not the type of person, if I do something for you, you owe me something. Nah, I do stuff out of my heart. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get my repayment from the universe. I get my repayment from God. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, there's definitely a fair value gap here. Let me just go ahead and draw it out because BW just called me out on it. Right? You got a fair value gap here, right? So anything that comes inside of here, you could go ahead and start buying. I was doing a fib inside of that, right? And it's just because it's there. Like once you start the chart, you'll see that. You know what I'm saying? You'll be like, okay, there's no reason for me to draw those two lines. Let me draw the fib. All right, I know to buy anything around here, right? Now, if it breaks this level, I'm not gonna go for puts because I'm just not doing puts right now. Like if I want to, I may. It calls me sometimes, but man, leave me alone. But long story short, if it breaks and holds under there, you can look for puts, right? But I'll be looking for anything to reverse to bounce back up. Why? Because like VW just mentioned, ES gap down. Well, I don't think he said gap down. I think it did though. It continued to break down to the downside, right? And look at this. I'll just take it to the 1 hour. Look at my RSI. It's gonna pick up. The first time it rejects, it's gonna reject here at the 30. I mean, sorry, 25. Because it's under it. And I studied it so much, especially when I go under, like, let me see if I can find one. Look. I could literally show you live as I'm doing it, or I can literally just show it to you any single time. Right? We break under. The first rejection is gonna be right there at the 30, coming back down to break back over it. And I studied it because when I was developing the strategy on the RSI, I will always enter like, oh, once it's breaking the 50, you know what I'm saying? And I was just seeing where it's like, damn, I keep getting rejected. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So I found my strategy on like, okay, this is when to buy and things of that nature. And look, it was late last night, so I'll go back in here. You know what I'm saying? Because BW was just like, bro, you gotta put, you know what I'm saying? Share the knowledge, bro. Come inside of here, Zoom recordings. Let's let it load up real quick. Look, it popped up right there. Actionable signals, RSI part 2. Literally, RSI class. You got an RSI class here. You got another one here. You got another one here. And these are not publicly out. Like, there's not on YouTube or anything of that nature, right? And then if you want to study a little bit more about entries and exits, you got entries and exits here as well. All right, so let me just hurry up and chart this. All right, so I would like to buy anything down here if it comes down here around like 346.51. Am I going to trade the Qs? Probably not. Most likely not. I'm not going to see it. I just don't lie. I'm not, but I'll chart it up for you guys. I'll be trading it on spot. You know what I'm saying? I might grab me some ES. You know what I'm saying? I might just jump on to my son's account and do something there. But no, yeah, but I do love the Qs and I do trade the Qs, but I haven't traded them possibly like over a month. Man, I'll take them right here. What's that? Nah, that's too early on Qs. Hold on. I'm sorry. It's just a habit. It's okay. Oh, dang. I gotta hurry up. Sheesh, I didn't even know it was 7:50. I have no sense of time. I have no sense of time. Like, seriously. If I don't have alarm set or like I don't follow my schedule, bruh, time would just escape me. All right, so we're doing pretty nice. Let me see something though on the hour on you. when we do that to the Qs, yeah, you probably got a little bit left to go down. BW say yes, came down too, so that brought them down a little bit. Probably brought us all the way there. I know what to do with you now. So I just want this a little bit higher. Moody, you go to a smaller time frame and get that. Stay on the higher one. Where's my booties? Where's my booties? Oh, I gotta go higher. Oh no, I'm almost there. Go find these puts. I ain't gonna lie, my put's gonna be very precise. A lot, all my entries be very precise, but oh dang, I had that guy on there like that. No, that's where I would take puts. Explain that, Moody. Why would I take puts here? It's not because of the liquidity here. There's liquidity here, but they'll take that liquidity. But if you look at this dotted line, it's flush with my support and resistance. So if they take this liquidity and they start to bounce and they fail to keep going over, like say this level where it's at, they will come down to go ahead and swipe out this liquidity here. I know it was kind of hard to see because I didn't have the chart pulled up. I mean, like zoomed in with that liquidity right there. And then we see 50% retracement. Is that aligning with this candlestick? Damn near, almost. You feel me? Almost. All right, cool. So now we got that, and I'll go to smaller time frame because I need to look for a better call entry, or if that one's nice and precise. And then I also need to it's gonna take me a little time because I'm on a 12-minute chart. I go all the way back to where I was. I'll be like, do. There you go. All right, we're almost there. Cozy. So I'm gonna show you why I did this. We got an entry here. We got a target here. That's just a 50% retracement. And we can see it's clean with the support and resistance. Well, damn near. Not super clean, but it's fighting a couple of cents. So we're about to get all this support. Red, liquidity. I ain't gonna go all the way down there because I don't think price I have to show me that is all the way down there to see if we're gonna test that resistance or what support. So that's what I'll have there. Let me click this button here. One of these red lines is not a target. It'll disappear here in a few. Yep, nah, that's too precise. I wouldn't even change my call entry, to be honest with you. That's too precise. And I honestly would want it where that hammer at. Right there, right under that gravestone. Like right on top of it, but right under that gravestone. So I could get it and just smack all that liquidity right there. And it's just like I could trim. You know what I'm saying? Like if that was 5, that's what I would be doing. Ooh, trim right there and then hold to see how we start to bounce and start to play inside of this range. But that'll be my entry. And just in case we bounce, I'm gonna give you another call entry. And I'm gonna make it so easy. It's just gonna be a 50. Straight, we can take some profits right here. That's a bag though. That's a bag. They should be able to take profits there. Now, if they miss that one and they take this one, they still get a nice, decent bag. It's just not a dollar move, but no, that's still a bag. That's straight. That's straight. And that's not too far fetched. They'll be able to hit those targets. Yeah, that'll be here. That'll be me for QQQ. Now, if you want to short them and you don't get to your entry point here, let the RSI get to your 50 mark and short them. Do not try to short them on 1 minute doing that strategy. We'll go on a 4 minute, 4 to 3 minute, and wait for that rejection right there, and then you can take them back down. And that's just getting in before you put entry. But that'll be for the Qs. Hold on, let me stop recording this.